What is Hamlet and what are the main events that take place in Act 1 through 5?
We all know Hamlet is a play written by Shakespeare and it consists of 5 acts. In Act 1, the play starts off in Denmark with the news of King Hamlet passing away. Claudius takes the throne and ends up marrying Hamlet's wife, Gertrude. While young Hamlet is mourning his father's death, a ghost resembling his father appears in front of him and tells him the truth of what actually happened, where King Claudius poisoned him. The ghost tells him to avenge his death, and that makes young Hamlet feel some kind of anger toward Claudius and his mother. In Act 2, Polonius learns from his daughter Ophelia about Hamlet's odd behavior. He ends up telling King Claudius about it. The king instructs 2 of Hamlet's friends to find out what's the cause of Hamlet's behavior. Alongside that, Hamlet plans to use a play called The Murder of Gonzaga to test if King Claudius really did kill his father. In Act 3, Hamlet plots to take revenge against his uncle. He acts insane. Also, he ends up acting the play out in front of Claudius and his mother. Claudius's reaction to the play confirms what the ghost told him. Claudius and Polonius eavesdrop on the private conversation that happens between Hamlet and Ophelia and between Hamlet and his mother. In that process, Polonius dies by Hamlet stabbing him through the curtains he was hidden behind. Act 4 further proves to the king that Hamlet's behavior is not just because he's lovesick, and that pushes him more to send Hamlet to England since he provokes threat. He also plans to kill Hamlet along the way, but that fails to happen. The death of Polonius drives Ophelia to the breaking point where she ends up drowning herself in a lake. Laertes, son of Polonius, demands justice for his father. Him and Claudius plot to kill Hamlet. During Ophelia's funeral, Hamlet fights Laertes because of his exaggerated sorrow. Both end up at the fighting fence inside the castle where on the 3rd round Hamlet is stabbed by the poisoned sword. Laertes dies. With Hamlet's last breath, he stabs Claudius and ends up killing him.
Which moments, scenes, ideas, etc. in this work contributed to your understanding of the culture, values, and society in which it was produced?
In Act 1, Scene 5, Hamlet sees a ghost resembling his father. He informs him about his death that took place by the hands of his uncle Claudius. Shocked by the news, Hamlet sets himself on a quest to uncover the truth of his father's death alongside seeking vengeance on Claudius, that now assumes the throne. In the end, Hamlet gets his revenge, but with a price. We can see that revenge is one of the main themes of Hamlet. This scene contributed to my understanding to some of the values regarding its society at which the play was produced. During the Elizabeth Age, families were considered a crucial part of society since they resembled unity and peace. Strong ties were present between children and their parents, but not between the married couple. It's illustrated in the play as Hamlet considers avenging his father's death a necessity, and that shows the strong bond between the father and the son. Hamlet's mother marries Claudius right after her husband's death, which proves that during the Elizabeth Age, married couples weren't together because of love. It was arranged marriages for the sake of being placed in higher social class.
Which moments, scenes, ideas, etc. in this work contributed to your understanding of your own culture and the values of your society?
In Act 3, Scene 1, young Hamlet acts out the play of The Murder of Gonzaga, with Claudius and his mother being the audience. When it comes to the murdering scene, Claudius reacts in a way that proves what the ghost told Hamlet. Young Hamlet is in a battle with his inner thoughts on what to do. He converses with himself and says, "To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to." Hamlet mentions here the conflict of his clashing thoughts about ending his own life, yet he is patient with himself and doesn't react quickly. This part of the play contributes to the understanding of some values in today's society. It ties in with a lot of principles regarding the purpose of life as well as the actions we would do under extreme circumstances. The struggle young Hamlet goes through with the idea of avenging his father's death gets to some fundamental questions about what people value in today's society, mainly about the standards and values we set for ourselves. An important value in today's society that ties into the text is patience when put under extreme conditions.
Would you recommend this text to others? If so, why? If not, why not?
I would totally recommend this text to others. This is one of those plays that would never die out or lose its spark. Like, it has so many moral lessons in it. One being punishing others in a manner that makes them feel guilty of the treachery they committed, and that is seen in Act 3 when Claudius confesses about the crime he did and ends up feeling guilty. Another moral lesson that was seen in this play is in Act 3. Hamlet confronts his mother about the mistakes she did. He tells her that she needs to break that habit. The moral lesson here is that we as humans are capable of breaking away from bad habits to develop good ones.